All right, so we've got a pretty laid back video today. I just want to talk about a few things with you guys real quick regarding the news of year 4 and the stuff that's been announced for it. And now that we've had some time to think it over and look at it, I figured now's a good time to talk about it. I had waited until after the event released and the Warriors Den made its rounds, just in case UB would have announced anything else about the Battle Pass, but it looks like we are going to wait until next year, which is fine. As always, if you do watch these videos somewhat regularly, I'd really appreciate it if you sub to the channel, as it really helps me out. Now let's not waste any more time and get right into it. Alright, so let's start off with the thing that seemed to upset quite a few people. Much more than I anticipated, at least from what I've seen in my comment section and interactions with people on Discord and whatnot, and that's the Battle Pass. I cannot tell you how many people were genuinely upset that UB had announced a Battle Pass for this game. There are people who were totally okay with it and happy with it, and people who have just sworn off the game because of it. My stance hasn't changed. I personally don't mind it. Its inclusion doesn't bother me, and I plan on grabbing the premium pass as I do play For Honor a fair bit. There were two sorts of comments I saw a lot that weren't in favor of the pass. One being that the Battle Pass is a terrible idea because even if you spend your money on it, there's a chance that you're not even going to get your money's worth. And yes, that is certainly true. Keep in mind that we don't exactly know how hard it'll be to get to tier 100 and if this battle pass will work in a similar way to the battle passes we've seen popping up in other games. And I totally get why someone would say that they think it's a waste of money or a bad thing, because you're spending money on the ability to earn these items. You're not spending money to get any item except for the pass itself. And from there, you've got to grind to get what you paid for. So if you work a full-time job, have a family, go to school 40 hours a week and need to study, or you have other obligations that take up a large chunk of your time and can only play for an hour or two every few days, then yeah, you might not get everything in the pass. And a few of you guys mentioned that the battle passes in other games can be a little stressful or annoying since there is a time limit on it and they feel like they're forced to play so much in order to get to the higher tiers where some of the coolest stuff can be. And I get what you're saying. I'm going to be straight with you guys. I have bought a few battle passes with the games I've played, and not once have I ever gotten past like tier 50. And if I didn't buy a battle pass for a season, I didn't get through like 15 tiers, as when I get home from working and get some free time, I'm not usually in the mood to play the same video game every day, if I'm in the mood to play a game at all, and I'm not thinking about my battle pass tiers. And you know, at the end of the day, like I said a few days ago, I think it all comes down to how quickly you can knock out these tiers. It says that we will have clear objectives throughout the 100 tiers within the Battle Pass where we will be able to unlock items through gameplay. We just don't know what those objectives are yet. Will it be like a few other games where you just play and grind XP to move through tiers? If so, what sort of XP game will it be? Will it be in-game XP, or will it have a different leveling system for the Battle Pass? Will the XP be performance-based, which I really hope it would be, or would it be the much worse time-based XP? Or will these objectives be like the daily orders we receive, where you have to use certain classes and play certain modes? And if so, how long are these challenges? Just imagine if you got something crazy like capture 40 flags and tribute or something to move through said tier. I would just ask for a refund. The Battle Pass in itself isn't a bad thing to me though, because it does offer something. I saw a lot of people upset that there will be cool stuff locked behind the premium version, the paid version, and they felt that it was unfair that this stuff will be locked behind a paywall and that we should just be receiving the stuff for free. And to me, the game's got to make money somehow. I wouldn't say this is just a game looking to suck its players dry and that they're doing it just because they can. I'm not really sure what else they could sell to us other than new heroes or like a straight up expansion. I've talked before about how relaxed For Honor's monetization is and how it could be so much worse than it is now. For Honor has an extremely relaxed approach to monetization. Every hero in the game can be bought with steel that you earn in-game. Almost all of the cosmetics right now that are available to everyone with steel. I think the only thing that's really locked behind a paywall off the top of my head is arcade mode, and trust me, you are not missing much if you don't have arcade mode. And I mean, they weren't going to sell us another year pass with 2 heroes. What'd be the point in buying it at that point? And honestly, if you don't play much and you aren't in a huge rush to play the new heroes as soon as possible, I'd argue that there was no reason to get the year pass in the first place, as you didn't get too much out of it. The highlight of the year pass can be earned in 2 weeks leading up to the hero's release. I know a whole lot of people who just straight up didn't buy the year pass because they didn't need to. They'd be able to play Blackbriar, Hitokiri, Yorm, and Janhu, just like those of us who did buy the pass. A battle pass does give people a reason to keep playing though. It incentivizes people to keep playing the game and not put it down after like 3 matches, as you put money into it and you want to get as far as you can. Or maybe there's something at like tier 90 you really like and you want to get before the 3-month season is up. I play For Honor a lot, so of course I don't mind it, but for others it probably is annoying. As I said, if you're busy pretty often, you may not enjoy it, but some sort of a progression is something For Honor needed in my opinion. Some would argue that a challenge system or some other sort of progression would have been better, and I mean, there's points to be made on either side, but I don't think that the battle pass is the worst way they could have incentivized players to play more often. It could have been much worse than a battle pass. Could you imagine the outrage that Yubi would face if they decided to lock heroes behind a real paywall instead of the 1-week early access thing they're doing now? Imagine if any of those heroes were as good as Blackbriar. No one would ever hear the end of it. At the end of the day, we should all wait before we uninstall. Let's see what exactly is included in the battle pass, how quickly we can earn things, and how much it costs. Giving players something to play for is important. I think that's something that a few people are just sweeping under the rug. We don't have much information about player counts or anything. The only info we have is the info we get from Steam, and what Steam shows is that there's the exact same pattern every season. There's a large amount of players who return to play the new season, see its content, the new hero and whatnot, and then just leave after a week or two. And I'm sure that this pattern carries over onto other platforms as well. I think that the battle pass is just one way of combating this and just seeing if more people will stick around if they have something to work for and use something they paid for, while also selling us players something and making money for the game. Now on to the 2 heroes thing. As I said after the announcement, I am a little disappointed about 2 heroes, and that's because, as you guys know, I really look forward to these new heroes every 3 months. They keep the game feeling fresh to me, give me a reason to come back, they give me something to look forward to, and I like learning the new heroes, despite whether they're good or not, because at the very least, they spiced up the experience. So of course, only getting 2 heroes is a bit of a letdown to me, because when I sat down and thought about it, I realized that we'll only be getting 2 heroes next year. There's going to be this large 6-month gap between heroes. 6 months is a pretty long time. Despite that, I do have hope for 2 things. One, that Yubi does work on a whole lot of heroes and issues during the season when no hero is released. And 2, when these heroes release, I'm really hoping that these heroes are good. By now, you guys know what I'm looking for in a hero. When a new hero is introduced, I want them to bring something new to the table. That's what I want most. I want their presence to mean something in a game. In a healthy way, of course. I'm not looking for any more stamina monsters or anything like that. Just something varied, fun, unique, stylish. You've heard it all before. I don't think 2 heroes being released is the end of the world. I really don't. Could this year be the last year for Honor? Maybe. Maybe it could be the final year for Honor as we know it, but who knows? Towards the end of 2020, the next consoles are going to release, and for me, that just raises a lot of questions. More questions than this year anyways, because this year it was, are they going to continue supporting this game or not? But now we have to ask, okay, is this game going to make the jump to the next platform? Are they going to work on it for year 5 while people start transitioning to the next platform? Or will crossplay become a thing for Honor and other Ubisoft titles before or slightly after these consoles release? I think the latter would be the best case scenario, not just for the game, but any live service game that's going on at this point. Or they could hit us with a huge surprise and announce that they've been working on another game, but the odds of that are extremely low in my opinion. Anyways, on Thursday they mentioned that the testing grounds would be something that'll be very important to this upcoming year. So if I had to take a guess, Year 4 Season 1 and Year 4 Season 3, or Seasons 13 and 15, will lead off with a testing ground change to heroes. That's total speculation and guesswork, but I'd be somewhat okay with that. It'd be in the same way that they tried to hype up Seasons 5, 6, and 7, where reworks were the main dish of the update, along with the battle pass and other things coming, except this time we'd have an idea of what changes were coming to the live build of the game. But for my guess to come true, we'd need to get another round of testing grounds in soon, like within the next month soon. Anyways, that's all I've got for this video. I don't want to go into every little thing and drag this out. I was looking for a time to put this out, and now's the time. I won't be posting again within the next few days, so if you're still here, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you guys. I hope you really do enjoy your holiday. I've got 2 more videos planned before the new year and something else I'd like to show you guys, so be on the lookout for that. And as always, I do want to know what you guys think, so be sure to talk to me down in the comments about anything we talked about in this video. And as always, if you like the video, feel free to leave a like and sub if you're new, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.